Welcome, basketball fans, to 2K Sports. I'm Damon Bruce. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's going to be LaMarcus Aldridge and the Portland Trailblazers up against John Wall and the Washington Wizards. And that's it for now. Let's send you out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. Enjoy the first half. We'll see you soon.
Two teams, two conferences. It's a road game for the Trailblazers in this one. We're at the Verizon Center where the Wizards will try to turn it up on their home floor. We're all set to bring you NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan, joined as always by Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Now courtesy of State Farm, Portland's starting five. Matthews and Batum on the perimeter. Hickson is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Lillard in at the point. And for the Wizards, Nene and Okafor together up front. Beal and Ariza are out on the wing, and it's Wall in at point.
You know, a lot of turnover in the last few years in the front office in Portland, and it's so difficult to make a transition as a team and get better and improve steadily when you don't have that continuity upstairs.
Now, here's Batum. He passes to Aldridge. Outside Matthews. A three-pointer off the mark. Now the Wizards with it. Right side, Wall. Nene with the screen on Matthews. Wall against Matthews. Straight up. The shot by Nene. No good. And as a player, it's hard, sometimes to focus on just playing basketball when things are getting jumbled around upstairs. And there was a lot of jumbling upstairs with the Blazers, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is unfortunate, but it is part of the territory, and these guys are human, even though we think they're robots because of them being professionals. When things are bumpy within the organization, it can make it tough to handle your business between the lines if you're a player. Well, the big fella's showing us a little explosiveness for the change.
Well, maybe Clark is working on his dunk skills because he looked perfectly at home right there.
Now, sometimes he can climb those, so I'm glad to see him get that one down.
And that one's good by Aldridge. And here's Wall.
And you look at LaMarcus Aldridge, he's always had good height for his position, 6'11", but he's done a nice job filling out that frame.
Now here's Wall. Back to Nene. Now Okafor inside. Clock at 6. Picked by Okafor. Here's Beal. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers. And, Steve, you look at Aldridge's improvement, he's left no stone unturned.
Yeah, I think the last step for Aldridge is to improve his post passing. Kevin, he's a wonderful scorer down on the block. He can step away and make jump shots. But if he can become a better passer out of that double team, he will be a complete offensive weapon.
He's short for the center position, but he makes up for it with tremendous leaping ability.
And Aldridge comes over to help. And Wall kicks to Okafor. Passes it to Nene. Outside, Wall. Over Matthews. They get it back. Okafor, the pass to Ariza. Second chance shot. With the clock winding down. And he lays it up and in. Ariza's got his first points in this one. The Trailblazers have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
I spoke briefly with Randy Whitman. He talked about the respect he has for the game of LaMarcus Aldridge and how tough it would be for them to slow him down, saying Aldridge is tough because he can score facing up or with his back to the basket. And with his length, it's tough to bother his shot. We'll look to deny him the ball when we can and just try to make it as hard as possible every touch. Kevin, we'll see how successful they are.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. Here's Wall. Following the basket by LaMarcus Aldridge. 4 on the clock. Here's Wall. Wall with another miss. The Trailblazers have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far.
Well, the Wizards can vouch for how difficult it is to go up against teams from the Western Conference. That can be anything but fun. And they had their share of struggles when it came to facing the West last season.
And the Wizards are going with a whole new group out there now. The Trailblazers making a switch here. Wizards trail by 4. 1:12 left here in the opening quarter. Price dishes to Temple. Beyond the arc. Cannot hit. Now the Trailblazers take it the other way. Only 4 wins against the Western Conference last year for Washington. Young team, and Steve, at times they looked overmatched.
Well, they were overmatched, Kevin. They had some young talent, but the pieces definitely didn't fit. And they had a lot of chemistry issues as well. So Washington took its lumps a year ago. They've tried to build up with more veteran players. They've made some trades. They drafted Bradley Beal as well. They're trying to start that climb up the standings.
Beal's checked in for Washington. Wall comes in for Price.
And Kevin, when the opposing team is bringing the ball up, they can't get careless when he's on the floor because he will pounce on a lazy pass or a lazy dribble, and he'll be heading the other way in a heartbeat.
And Steve, just like you, when you shot, you had a favorite spot on the floor when you played. His favorite spot seems to be that 3 from the corner.
Yeah.
He's a guy that'll take it right into the teeth of the defense. A lot of his points come from inside of 5 feet.
Lillard with it. He's picked up by Wall. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Here's Claver. Blocked. And they'll keep possession. Lillard, the 19-footer, is on the money. Here comes John Wall. It'll count. And no good trying to get that one. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Trailblazers out in front, leading by 5. We'll be back shortly live from the Verizon Center. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And taking a look at the Trailblazers' performance here, boys. What do you think they're doing or not doing?
So difficult to get a shot off against this defense. They are really playing hard.
Yeah, they're playing hard, and they pride themselves on making it tough for their opponents.
Well, when you think about what's held John Wall back, because he's obviously so gifted, it's got to be the jump shot. You know, teams basically have dared him to shoot from the outside, and he hasn't been able to develop that consistent shot to make them pay for that kind of defense.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the floor for Portland, Batum and Aldridge are small and power forwards. Matthews out there with Manning, and it's Hickson in at the 5 down low. Here's what Washington's going with right now. Emeka Okafor is checked in for Kevin Serafin. Nene comes in for Trevor Booker. Garrett Temple is checked in for Martell Webster. And it's Price in for John Wall. Now here's Price. This one for 3. They get the rebound. Tries again. Again, the Wizards good for 2.
Still trailing, but their offense is off life support here in the second quarter. It's got a pulse.
Yeah, they're making some shots now, but finally starting to make up some ground.
And Wall said that during the lockout, he may have done a few too many informal summer league games. Not enough working on his shot.
Boy, that's a good bit of self-analysis there. You don't get better playing basketball. You get better in some ways, but the most work that you need to do is breaking down the individual components of that game and grinding it out. And John Wall knows his shot needs that kind of attention.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Gentlemen, for John Wall and the Washington Wizards, getting more wins is clearly the focus. As Raul said, the main thing is always winning. That's what it has to be. To be a great point guard, to be one of the best point guards in this league, you've got to win. You can have all the points, you can have all the steals, you can have all the dunks. But if you're not winning games, then it doesn't mean anything. Wall understands that it doesn't always happen overnight. We're committed to doing it the right way, he said. It's a building process. You've got to understand that. Kevin, it takes a little patience.
Well, they've definitely added some quality size, Doris. No question about that. We'll see how they do.
They continue to barrel their way inside, and when's the defense going to adjust?
Well, I'm asking the same question myself, partner. I mean, that's 8 points out of their last 10 coming inside.
Now here's Webster. He's guarded closely. The pass to Beal. Fades. Lillard with the rebound.
And the fadeaway was about his only option there. Really good defensive position.
The Blazers ended up in the back of the pack for the playoffs last year, but for a while they were right there in the mix. Ultimately, they decided to make some changes and try for this year, but not being able to win consistently on the road really did them in a year ago.
The Trailblazers making a switch here. Batum's checked in. And Wall kicks to Webster. Back to Wall. There's the feed to Webster. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. Webster's got his first points of the game. You're right, Clark. When the injuries started piling up for the Blazers last year, it was very tough. Even if they did push their way into the playoffs, they probably didn't have a real shot of doing much.
I would agree with that, Kevin. I mean, this is a team that a few years ago looked like they were on the rise, but the injuries to Odin and Brandon Roy all of a sudden had the franchise heading in the wrong direction, and now it's time for some changes, and that's why we saw some of the moves we did in the offseason.
Wizards trail by 3. Left side, Wall. He dishes it to Webster. Back to Wall. Goes right up. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Wall's got 4 points in the quarter.
Yeah, we're now starting to see them get some high percentage shots in the paint.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 buckets inside the lane, so they're getting really high percentage looks down there.
Now, here's Lillard. That's good. Lillard's got 6 points.
The defense really has to pick it up here, guys. They allowed themselves to get picked too easily.
All with it. Lillard picks him up. Wall attacking. Good on the shot.
I like the job they're doing. A much better job of getting them involved in the offense here in the second quarter.
Opportunity to go 2 for 1 here if they want it.
Steve, let's see if they go for it.
Here's Lillard. He's got 6. Outside, Batum. Kicks it to Leonard. Rebounded by the Wizards. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. All with it. He's got 8. 11 seconds left now here in the second. And that one's good. Wall's got 10.
Only got a half step on his man, but that's all he needed when he ran off the pick. And as a result, able to finish the layup. That's nicely done.
He got it up. No good on that last second attempt there. Second quarter ends in a tight one. Trailblazers lead by 2. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And it is halftime. I'm Damon Bruce. An excellent game going on at Verizon Center. The Trailblazers in a close one against the Washington Wizards. The assist total indicative of their unselfish play, spreading that ball around. The first half, a productive one for Damian Lillard. He has 6 points and has kept everyone else involved, piling up the assists. Looking at Washington, they're definitely making plays as well. A dramatic advantage in the paint. They're getting right in close and converting the kind of buckets they want. John Wall certainly contributing with his all-court play. He's got 10 points and is also sharing the ball, picking up assists as well. Thanks for joining us as we get back out now to the Verizon Center.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters.
Well, just take a look at what Wall's done tonight. He's got 10 points and also a couple of assists.
Washington trailing.
Well, it's been a painful few years for the Wizards, who have tried to build through the draft and added a lot of talented young players, but it just hasn't clicked. And I think that's one of the reasons they ended up making the trade of JaVale McGee for Nene with Denver last year.
Beal and Ariza are out on the wing. Nene and Okafor together up front. And it's Wall in at the point guard position. That's Randy Whitman's 5 as we get into the second half. Here's Lillard. Following the basket by John Wall. Back to Batum. There's the dish to Aldridge. And some nice ball movement here by the Trailblazers. And Lillard kicks to Hickson. 6 on the shot clock. The Trailblazers need to get off a shot from deep. And again, it's the Trailblazers from deep. Back to what Steve was talking about with the Washington Wizards. They have tried to build through the draft, but that trade seemed to help them, I think, Clark, along the way.
And part of building through the draft just isn't about keeping everybody you have. It's about gathering the assets, stockpiling the assets you need to build a team. And sometimes that includes trading for guys like Nene.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over.
Last year was so disappointing for Blazer fans. They had high hopes. They started out pretty quickly, but things turned south over the course of the year, and now the Blazers look to be rebuilding for the future.
Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. And he draws body contact. Looked like a blocking foul, and he was in the shooting motion, so he'll head to the free throw line. Well, the Blazers did seem to have a lot of momentum making the playoffs frequently over the past couple years, but that was not the case last season. Last season was incredibly turbulent.
Yeah, it was, Kevin. They knew when Aldridge got hurt last year that their hopes were waning for another playoff appearance. I mean, fortunately, they were able to get assets to help them this season as they try to get back to being a playoff team in the future.
All with it, Matthews covering. Shot clock at 5. And Beal kicks the Wall. And he's good on the 3-ball. Wall's got 7 points for the quarter.
3 for 3. Gotta like this hot start in the third quarter. Well, the Wizards fell in love with Bradley Beal early in the draft process, and that's why they picked him with the 3rd overall selection. And no surprise, really, the way Beal shoots the ball really adds to this Washington team. They've struggled from the perimeter in the last several years, so Beal should be able to complement John Wall and the rest of the roster.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Well, guys, the Portland Trailblazers, a team that's gone through its share of turmoil, from front office turnover to injuries to their star players, but franchise big man LaMarcus Aldridge says that he loves the chemistry they have in the locker room, saying, quote, "There's no egos. Everyone just wants to win, and we have a bunch of guys who know their role, who are happy in their role. That's been hard in the past. We've had guys who wanted more, and that can mess up chemistry. I like this team a lot. We have great chemistry, get along well, and I feel we are going to win a lot of games, too. Kevin, we'll see."
A lot of talent, Doris. They're keeping them all working together. Looking at who's out there now for the Wizards. Kevin Seraphin, he's checked in for Okafor. Trevor Booker comes in for Nene. Martell Webster, he's checked in for Trevor Ariza. And Garrett Temple subbed in for Beal. All with it, Lillard picks him up. It's going to be a goaltending call here, so they'll count the bucket.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
Washington making some changes. Beal comes in for Garrett Temple. And it's Price in for John Wall. Outside, Batum. Yes, and a nice assist from Maynard. 10 points for Batum.
Boy, both teams showing a lot of hustle, Clark.
Steve, especially since halftime, I mean, they're flying around out there, giving up a lot of energy and putting together a pretty good show.
Now, here's Price. Fires it up. Again, the Wizards good for 2. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter.
There were a lot of high hopes, Kevin, for the Wizards last season. They thought they would make some strides forward as a team. I mean, they've got some talented young pieces, but overall, they just did not make the kind of improvements that were anticipated. Excellent job carving out space under the glass to make that putback possible.
We've got 1:08 left here in the third quarter. Launches it. Beal can't get it to go. The Wizards found themselves near the bottom of the East again, and it was in part due to how they played at home.
Yeah, the Wizards going 11-22 here at home. I mean, that's just not going to get it done. And it just shows you how young and inexperienced they were. But they've added some veteran help along that front line. Some steady locker room guys, and I think they should be able to give these fans more to cheer about this season.
Price with the ball. And Batum picks him up defensively. No good from Price.
Couldn't convert, but nice little two-man game there.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go back to that the next trip.
And yes, sir, that one drops.
I'm sure they'd like to get more shots like that one.
Wizards trail by 6. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. There's the pick. Now here's Beal, looking for his first bucket of the game. The three is launched, and the shot is good. 9 seconds left to play here in the third. Maynard kicks to Hickson. No good on the buzzer beater. That concludes the third quarter. It continues to be an exciting neck-and-neck game. It's the Trailblazers leading by 3. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. While we're still getting underway here in the fourth, let's go down to Doris Burke, who has our Sprite Uncontainable Game Report. Doris?
Guys, it was the stretch by the Trailblazers that garners the uncontainable game today. Something must have been said about defense at halftime because they came out and locked things up in the third quarter. A great effort on D, and it has them sitting pretty here in the fourth.
Okay, Doris, thank you. And that was quite a run, guys. That made a big impact on where we are right now.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say, Kevin. It was a major turning point. You know, they really hit on something that in the blink of an eye had them scoring almost at will.
Well, you got to share the credit for that kind of run. I mean, you can't just say it was all about offense. There was some stingy, stiff defense being played, too.
And on the floor for Portland here in the fourth, Lillard and Matthews pair up in the backcourt. Batum and Aldridge are small and power forwards, and it's Leonard in at center.
A lot of miles between Portland and the East, about as far as you can get from the East Coast is Portland. You would think that with the way the Blazers have to travel, they would have a rough time against the East, but, you know, that kind of works both ways, and they really held their own. You know, it's been a real good half for them from beyond the arc, Kevin. I mean, they may as well stick with it.
Yeah, no reason not to just continue shooting the ball from out there because they're in a good flow. They're shooting the ball with great confidence.
A shot by Batum, no good. Clark, you look at the geography of it. Really, Portland is the team most isolated out there in the Northwest, and when they play in, you know, the East at home or away, you know, one team has logged a lot of miles, but sometimes that can serve as an advantage too, especially for the Blazers at home.
Well, and that can add up in a hurry when you go out on the road. And yeah, Portland's been great at home, but on the road in recent years, it's been a little bit more of a struggle. All those miles start to add up. But in the end, look, you got to do it. I mean, you can't have any excuses about how far you're traveling.
Here's Leonard. Following the basket by John Wall. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Batum. From the arc. Rebound by the Wizards.
Got a good look, though. I thought that was going to go down.
Well, the D may have done just enough there, Clark, to bother him and throw that shot off.
Now here's Wall to take the lead. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
With John Wall as your point guard, it makes sense to build your team around transition offense. That's where he excels. He's probably the fastest player end-to-end in the league with the ball. Maybe in the world, even. Not easy to find teammates who can run with him.
Beal's checked in for Garrett Temple. And Portland with a change here, too. J.J. Hickson, he's checked in for Leonard. Now, here's Lillard. Back to Batum. Wall with the steal. Wizards passing it around. Beal, the pass to Wall. Gets the bucket. Wall's got 16 points here in the second half. And going back to the blistering speed of John Wall, Steve, he can really fly.
Yeah, can you imagine him as a wide receiver in football, Kevin? Just incredible skills. I think Wall has a chance to be special. You know, the problem for him the last few years, his supporting cast has not been ideal. So hopefully this version of the Wizards will be more effective in terms of giving him support.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Yes, I had a chance to find out what the Trailblazers head coach was going over with his guys. He gave his guys the green light to keep firing from downtown, telling them, listen, I like the work you're doing out there. Keep finding those gaps on the perimeter. They're giving us open shots.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. And it's blocked. Outside Matthews. He feeds it to Batum. Right through the D for the layup.
And the shootout continues.
Trading buckets both ways. I mean, offense definitely the focal point for these teams.
The Wizards have gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the fourth. All with it, Lillard picks him up. Outside, Wall. Takes it up. Rebound by the Trailblazers. Lillard's got 4 rebounds in this game. And Matthews kicks to Batum. Gets the go-ahead bucket. And now it's a 3-point Trailblazer lead.
You know, he's given them a nice scoring option through most of this game.
Wall gets a screen from Okafor. And Aldridge comes over to help. Wall attacking. Good. Wall's got 18 points now here in the second half.
Hasn't had a whole lot of misses here in the quarter. Very sharp shooting right now. It's fun to watch.
Tries to keep it alive. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will retain possession. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Here's Matthews, and the layup is good. And the Trailblazers lead by 3.
That's a huge shot.
And that put a hush over the crowd.
Yeah, the volume's been turned down in this building in a big hurry.
It's Wall with the drive. Made it on the run, too. Wall's got 10 points in the quarter.
Shooting percentage is off the charts, guys. He's really hitting his shots today.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on John Wall. That's his first foul. Matthews with it. Now Beal defending. And Lillard kicks to Matthews. And the Trailblazers, another 3.
Another 3 goes down, guys.
Yeah, you got to get up into them defensively. I mean, you got to put pressure on guys and make them put the ball on the floor.
Now here's Wall. Baseline drop step. Money! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
He may single-handedly bring his team back, guys. What a fantastic quarter he's had.
He hits the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 4-point ballgame.
Those are big free throws, guys, because now it becomes a 2-possession game.
Panay setting the pick for Wall. He kicks to Beal. Takes the 3. It falls! And that shot brings them to within just 1.
What a clutch shot there.
Really, the definition of clutch.
26 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Baseline jumper. Dishes it to Lillard. And they need to stop the clock, so there's a foul.
Yeah, no question the right call at this point. You can't let them just dribble it out.
That's right. I mean, you got to send them to the line and hope for a few misses.
And so both free throws are good. And it's a 3-point game.
Absolutely deadly from the line. Now they have no choice but to look for the 3 here.
16 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And here's Wall. Feeds to Beal. Jacks up a 3. Buries the triple. And oh, that was an enormous 3-pointer.
And my goodness, that one got them going.
Did it ever. They're on cloud 9.
What an atmosphere in here. This is incredible.
Here's Lillard. Oh, couldn't sink the shot, and we're going to overtime. Time expires, and we're going to overtime. We'll be back shortly live from the Verizon Center. Well, if you're just joining us, the intensity has really heated up in this one. As we watch this one go now to overtime. And the Trailblazers start out with the ball. And always a good ride in these post-regulation battles. This overtime now looking to be an exciting one. All fueled up and ready to go to overtime basketball here, brought to us by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court for the Trailblazers, Matthews and Batum on the perimeter. Aldridge out there with Hickson, and it's Lillard in at the point guard. Now here's Wall, following the miss by LaMarcus Aldridge. And they now lead as the free throw drops for him. Trevor Ariza's checked in for Washington. And so Wall nails both of them. And the Trailblazers shooting indicative of smooth offensive play, up at 60%. They're a machine from the floor. A shot by Batum, no good. The Wizards shooting with confidence. Wow, 66% from the floor. All with it, Lillard picks him up. It's Wall with the drive. He goes up. Lillard with the rebound. Lillard's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Aldridge left side. No one covering. Washington's gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight, nailed 5 of them. Wall gets a screen from Nene. Wall dishes to Nene. Okafor, the pass to Beal. 6 to shoot. Shoots over Matthews. Can't hit. So the Trailblazers will take it the other way. And even 3-on-3 break. Passes to Batum. The pass to Lillard. The feed to Aldridge. Trailblazers moving the ball around. And here's Matthews from the arc. And the shot is good. And it's a 3-point Trailblazer lead. Here is Wall. He passes it to Beal. Nene with the screen on Matthews. Shoots the 3. That's good. That's 12 points here for Beal.
9 straight points for them off of wide open looks from deep. Something has to change for this deep.
Yeah, they're just giving up too many easy shots out there. They've got to close out harder, get a hand up, make him put it on the floor.
It really depends on them to convert those chances. A lot of times, even with solid D draped on it, they expect him to make it.
Now Wall. Okafor sets the pick for Wall. It's good!
That's grace over power, guys. With that finger roll, gets him 2 points. Impressive stuff.
A victory in overtime is still within their reach, but they have to be efficient, Kevin.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on John Wall. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. And stolen by Ariza. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Batum with the steal.
Well, they're still within reach, but they need a hoop pretty much every time down the floor.
Well, they've got a little life, but they better execute every time.
Now, here's Lillard. Lillard gets the screen from Aldridge. It falls! A huge shot to tie it up.
Well, that was like a warm-up shot there, a warm-up jumper. No problem converting that one.
Nene, the screen, to the middle, goes up. Oh, look out! Wow.
Nasty, nasty. Whoa.
And that look right there on Clark says it all.
He's not alone, Kevin. That was just mean right there.
And stolen by Ariza. And so it's Washington who's straight by with the win. An impressive victory in overtime after an exciting end in regulation.
You know what? In a long game, fatigue can sometimes affect every aspect of play. They didn't look tired at all to me.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. for Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, John Wall.